We have run out of our Schengen Shuffle time. Almost.
So we're waiting for our trip back across the sea.
Even though we've visited some familiar places,
We still had some adventures. 2 empty nesters and 1 brave dog. We're Casey, Rodney, and Salsa. Currently, we're traveling through Europe, navigating the Schengen Shuffle in our motorhome, Holland. We are sharing real travel life highs and the happy detours along the way. Please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, make sure you bookmark our webpage, and follow us on Facebook at Empty Nest Adventures TV. So welcome to another episode of Empty Nest Adventures.
TV.
The last time you left us, the big thing that we got done was Salsa got groomed.
Woohoo!
And so she's out here with us today. So we returned back to wonderful camping in Durrës,
Albania.
on our way back down to Vlorë. Not a whole lot there. We had been there before. You've seen the
we've done
seen the
video
stuff
on
from
them
it. So
before.
it was a chance for us to take care of our services and have some electricity.
Do some laundry.
Yep.
Nice,
and,
beautiful weather to hang the laundry out.
Yep. And kind of plan how we were going to get down to where the ferry was and the timing of it in relations to having to do more services and other things. So,
And then what we were going to do after
yes.
the ferry.
Yeah. So we made our way further down to Vlorë, which is where the ferry's going to be taking off from Albania. And so the first night we just stopped at a park spot. Actually, it was right next to a gas station.
Yep.
Wasn't like the one that we had before where it was a big parking lot and we were kind of away from all the activity. There was a little side street there that cars kept going back and forth down.
Yeah, it was a little bit noisy.
Yeah. So it wasn't much of a place, but it was a place to sleep, and
It was
free.
a free place to stay while we waited for the ferry.
So on our way back down to Vlorë, and we were going down to Vlorë a few days early to get Salsa to a vet so we could get her paperwork.
Yes.
On the way down there, we went through Fier, the town of Fier again. We navigated the streets of Fier to go to the Spar we had been to before, but just because we were familiar with it. So
and Spar is a grocery store that we like. It's got some of the familiar products that we've become familiar with in Albania, so that we know what's there and what we like.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of places in Vlorë to park or camp or do anything else. So I thought I found a spot that would be kind of out of town and out of the way.
Yeah.
It was a parking spot. It was across the street from a pretty nice looking soccer field.
Yeah. And it was a big open parking lot.
Yep. The first thing we noticed was that like the sewer grates or drain grates or whatever, half of them were missing. So kind of had to watch how you had to drive, or else you'd drop a wheel into one of those. Right. And then while we were sitting there, a couple of guys came up and had their cameras out videotaping a car. So we think this was a popular car space for
place to park the car. A place to park the cars so that you could take pictures for sale, for selling your car.
Yep.
But we did end up having...
Yeah, because later that night, a couple guys came back and they were doing donuts.
They were doing donuts, and they were getting pretty close to the camper. It made me pretty nervous.
Yeah.
We talked about, just as we were talking about just leaving and finding someplace else, they left.
Yeah.
So that was...
Yeah, because we had thought about actually moving across the street into the soccer field parking lot, which might have been a good idea. But the next day was the day that we took Salsa to the vet.
Yep.
And since that was in town in Vlorë, that was a little tricky of knowing where I was going to be able to put Holly while you were in taking care of the vet.
He just had to find a parking space on the side of the street because it was just so busy. And in Albania, they park on both sides of the road, and then they have no problem double parking on both sides of the road. So you've got barely one lane, and this is in a very busy city.
Yeah, fortunately I wasn't, but probably
this one was
300 or 400 meters up the road, and was able to park
on the road off to the side.
Yep.
And there was like a bakery and a vegetable store there. So we went and got bread before we took off. And so it was a pretty easy vet visit, but we were going to have to go back
to
get the paperwork because it was going to be a 2-day process.
I'm going to do a video on the paperwork for getting Salsa in and out of the
EU.
The paperwork to get Salsa in and out of the EU.
Yeah, and the U.S.
And getting her out of the U.S. and into Albania, and basically from country to country. We have to have certain paperwork for her, and she has to have certain vet checks and things like that. Yeah. And I'll do another video on that.
Yeah, and we'll probably attach a poll to this video about doing that video, but we've already gotten enough people who have asked us that we think we should do the video. And it's going to be based on our experience. It's not like any legal experience or anything else. It's just how things have gone with us.
Just how we have done it.
So, and we think probably part of the reason that we've had it, I would say, easier than what we thought it was, is because we have German license plates on our camper.
Yeah.
I think that helps out some or something.
Well, we pull up with German license plates, but hand them a U.S. passport.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, but we have a German registration too. So,
yeah.
But so that night we went back to that parking lot.
Yeah.
Which we found out probably was not a great idea because
we didn't really have much of a choice. There wasn't a lot of places to park to wait overnight, just for a night before we, needed to go back.
Yeah. But so we had some people who. We kind of parked off into a corner. Yeah. But these people decided that they needed to park in that corner too and drink and smoke and party out till 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. We kept thinking, okay, we'll just wait a little bit. They're going to leave. And another car would show up and then another car would leave.
Yep.
And we thought, okay, like the last time with the people with the donuts, they're not going to be here very long, so we don't have to worry about moving.
Yeah.
But they didn't leave until 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and people came and went while we were. There too, so that didn't help matters too much. So we decided next day, since we would go get her Salsa's paperwork, and then we had a few days, like 3 or 4 days until the ferry was going to take off. So we just thought, well, we'll just go back up the road a little bit, and we'll just get out of Vlorë and go back to a place that we know was kind of quiet.
We weren't going to stay in that parking lot another night.
Yeah. So we actually, the first stop that we went back was that car cafe, which was the place that had the car wash and the little bar, coffee shop.
They had done all the gravel.
Yeah, it was the one that got the gravel delivery the last time. And so you have water and electricity, but that was about it. But we did notice that since we had been there, like, I don't know, a week or 10 days before, they added chickens in the field. They had a big chicken coop and chickens out there. So we enjoyed watching that. So, but there was no place for us to have a birthday for Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Is what we've been calling it.
Yeah, Cousin Eddie needed to be emptied.
Yep. So, and the best place to go back to do that was Camp Apollonia.
Yeah.
Wasn't very far away. We knew this place.
And we enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it there.
That's the one where we went up and walked to the ruins and stuff.
For the first ruins, that we went to.
And really enjoyed it. But the place had beautiful showers, nice laundry, and easy access to do all the services that we needed to do. And it was within driving distance of the port.
Yes.
So it wasn't as much, it was easy to do. It was a no-brainer.
Yep. So, and some of the other things we got free lemons.
We got a whole bag of free lemons.
And this time we got free wine.
Yep, a bottle of free
wine. And we were the only ones there.
Yep.
So Salsa had a great opportunity to play ball for once and kind of get her wore out and play a little bit. So you can tell she's not wore out today, right now. So, so from there we headed down to the port, and that's where we're going to start our next video. Is when we go down and get the tickets for the port and the ferry and go across the water. But for the rest of this video, we kind of want to wrap up our first 6 months because that is ending our 6 months.
Yeah,
being over here.
We've been traveling in Holly for 6 months now. It has been 6 months since we sold the big house and loaded up and made this big crazy decision.
Yep.
And we had to spend 3 months of it in Albania, almost all 3 months.
Almost
So
3
two and a half
months,
months.
yeah.
2.5 months in Albania.
And 33 days of that was in rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
33 days straight of rain.
we started out in the Netherlands.
Yep.
And we ended up staying there longer than we thought we were with the motorcycle rack and the issues with that. But
we did a month.
We had a friendly superhero companion there in Hymer that bailed us out several times. And obviously, if you followed all our videos, you know we've needed bailed out a few more times after that. Hymer wasn't available; he wasn't going to come that far, but he came through for us a couple times. Like when we were in Gitorn and the battery died.
Yeah.
He found a guy to get us.
How would you say our 6 months have gone? We're 6 months in.
It has been adventurous.
Yeah, it has been adventurous.
It has been adventurous
Yes.
because I said this when we were there that it was great that we started in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
It was a nice, easy place to kind of get into the different groove that is here with driving, shopping, and all the other things because. Had some difficulties. Not everybody spoke English.
Yeah.
Understanding how their roads work because they're not always 2 lanes, but there's 2-way traffic, and
the Netherlands wasn't top on our list of when we looked at Europe and said, "Oh, yay, let's go do this in Europe."
Yeah.
The Netherlands wasn't a country that really spoke out to us and said, "Oh, yeah, I want to spend a lot of time in the Netherlands." But it turned out that, that was one of our favorite places.
Yep. Yeah.
We really enjoyed the Netherlands.
Yep.
Germany was another surprise too. We enjoyed,
I think
especially being down near Garmisch.
Yes. Yeah. And before we got there, the Gothic church and the Lent chocolate.
Cologne.
Hard to go wrong with chocolate.
You can't ever go wrong with
mess
chocolate.
up with chocolate. And then like Garmisch, we went to the castle, which was kind of like a bucket list item for you to go to.
Yes, that was a bucket list.
So when we passed through Austria, back and forth on that way through there, and then probably our next thing that we look at now that we've survived, that we're happy about, was crossing the Alps.
Yes.
The Swiss Alps.
That was interesting. That was an adventure.
Yeah, and
it really was.
our little stint possibly staying on top of that dam at
getting caught in the
2,200 meters up with it snowing and the temperature dropping and everything else. That was probably the main thing we're going to remember about that part of the trip. And then from there we moved into Italy, and the next day we were out short sleeve shirts and sunny and but our first impressions of Italy were not that great. We had a few little hiccups.
Italy was the one on our bucket list, I think. I mean, we've still got Ireland and England to come, and those are on there, but Italy was the big one. Oh, we couldn't wait. That's a once in a lifetime Italy.
Yep.
And Northern Italy, I would just say I don't think Northern Italy was my favorite.
Yeah, it was a mix because the things that we found that we enjoyed, we just kind of stumbled across.
Yeah, Venice was really nice.
Yeah, we enjoyed Venice, and we enjoyed Maristica.
Maristica,
where the castle was. It was our second time to get on a military base.
Yes.
To visit, we went to Ramstein, and obviously we couldn't buy anything because we didn't have the proper tax card. But Vicenza in Italy, and we got on there and we did laundry and bought some things. It's nice to stock up because most of it's American type products that we're used to. So I think probably my kind of highlight that we had two real highlights, I think, in Italy. One we kind of stumbled across, and that was Gargano National Park, where we were on the beach.
Yes, we liked that.
That was very nice.
That was really nice.
One we didn't think was going to happen until like 2 days before it did, and that was meeting Andre and Lisa.
That was
from We Will Nomad. Yeah, we had a great time. That was
Yes,
that was a great day.
really good time.
Yeah, they're as nice a people as they appear on camera as they are.
Yes.
In
In
real
person.
life, and the food that they serve tastes just as good as it looks. So we can vouch for that.
fantastic.
So, and that was kind of our last big thing we did in Italy before we headed back to Bari to get on the ferry to go over to Albania. And really, the first thing we did in Albania, besides wait out rain, was to go to that Winterfest, or the Christmas market they had, and that was a really good time.
And Albania was kind of the sleeper surprise, and so was Montenegro, I think.
Yeah.
I really didn't have a whole lot of expectations of what the Baltics would be like, but when we got over there, it really was beautiful, and just the people.
Yeah, the people were fantastic.
In Albania are just so nice.
We were a little nervous about going to the winter market because it was the second night that it had been open.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it would be very crowded. We didn't know how the crowds would react or act as we were walking around. But we were there, 5 minutes?
And we just felt
very
really
comfortable. Yeah, everybody was there to help, and people don't crowd you. They get out of the way and stuff. And I remember when we went to eat, we had no idea what to do. They had these tents set up, and we're standing in line, probably looking.
You don't know how to order anything because you don't know what to ask for.
Yeah, completely clueless looking,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And the guy said, "Do you want to eat?" And we said, "Yes."
Salsa.
And he said, "Go sit down. I'll bring you the sampler." And we were served very well.
Yes.
And the food was fantastic and tasted very good, and there was plenty of it.
Yes.
But
the problem with Albania became, and I mean, we're being honest in our videos, the problem became that we were stuck because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
We were stuck in a very small country. As our videos, as you've seen, we visited some of our camping places twice, or several of them twice, because we had nowhere else really to go, because we couldn't cross the mountains to go into North Macedonia because the weather had been really bad. And like we say, we joke about Rain Albania, 33 days of rain, and we're not talking drizzles on and off rain. We're talking 33 days of rain. And we were having trouble getting stuck and things like that. So, and the fact that we couldn't just hop on the ferry and go back into Italy or the EU because of the Schengen zone, we were kind of stuck. So we made the best of it. I mean, Albania is not a bad place to be stuck, except when it rains for 33 days.
So some of the we can probably move on to the good things.
Yes,
I think we've drowned them with the rain talk probably enough. But
it's a small area, so when you're wanting to travel and get out and see more, we were kind of stuck.
Yeah,
there.
we would have. We realized that we would have enjoyed it a lot more had it not rained that many days, because we would have gotten out in some of these towns and probably
and we probably would have gone to Kosovo
secrets.
And we would have gone to North Macedonia.
And we would have stayed longer in Montenegro for sure.
Yeah.
So,
and if you ever get a chance, I mean, Montenegro is gorgeous.
Yes.
It is beautiful. It just, they had storms coming in the snow, and you can't stay we can't stay in our camper in 5-degree weather.
And that's not
cold.
Celsius.
No, that's too cold.
So, but some of the highlights we had was the sunsets at Peta Camping over the water.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
That's probably some of the most
fish
photographic
you ordered
and
at the restaurant.
and visual that we've probably had.
Yes.
I think probably one of my favorite places there was probably Valdenos Beach.
Oh yes.
The old military resort beach for the Yugoslavia military that was just very cool. It had that mix of that history and being abandoned.
Now,
and
I liked Bunk Art too.
And then
that
the beach
was
area.
really nice. But Apollonia.
Is that your?
Yeah, that have to be right up there with my favorite. I enjoyed going through the ruins and the history and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would probably kind of lead in mind would probably be Gyrocaster.
Yeah.
So I like the castle and the old town that they had there.
That is, yeah.
And before we left the camping Aura where we stayed, the owner was asking us if we wanted to stay longer and look for houses for sale.
Yeah, they wanted.
So I guess he wanted us to live there or something nearby. So that was.
They're looking for expats or people to come over and buy houses in the area and stay. And Eurocaster is, and you can put up. We're saying Eurocaster, but it's spelled with a G. So
yeah, they say
put it up
Eurocaster.
so we can see.
Yeah.
But it is a nice place to if an expat's looking to go there. That's a good place.
GJ is how it starts. Yeah, yeah. We're not reckoning that. And of course, we can't mention that we took a little break in Montenegro and got a B&B.
Yes, for Christmas.
Yeah,
that
Airbnb.
was kind of our Christmas break.
Yep, and of course you ordered Netflix since we had a TV. I think that's the only time we've really watched TV.
That's the only time in 6 months that we've watched TV was for the 3 days we were there.
And then quickly after that, the snow drove us back into Albania, so that's why we spent so much time in Albania, just because the weather was temperate enough that we could.
But we're getting into
there,
spring now.
Yes.
So and our time out of the Schengen zone is over, and we're getting ready to get back on the ferry.
Yep. So for the people who travel like this long term, we're just kind of starting out and not done it before, but there's other people who've done this for years, and a lot of them are subscribers and follow us on YouTube. So we kind of asked, we know what our mood was after 33 days of rain and having to do laundry and all the mundane stuff. But what is your mood like on that?
Exactly. I mean, we had days where we looked at each other and said, really, is this really what we want to be doing?
Yep.
But then something else would come up. We'd do something else and we'd think, oh yes, this is definitely, we're at the right time in our lives and the right.
Because you talked about Apollonia, and I think that was probably because of the two dogs that walked around with us. But because that was, considered probably more of southern Albania, which we had a lot of highlights there with the olive oil mill, the Butrent ruins, and then the Blue Eye, which was a very cool.
Oh, the
cool
Blue
thing.
Eye was definitely worth seeing.
That was very worth seeing. Maybe not worth getting stuck 2 or 3 times to go see it, but it was worth seeing. So that basically recaps our 6 months. Put down in the comments if you got a question for us that you want to ask us.
Do that.
Excuse Salsa.
Salsa burps.
Yes, she's such a lady. So put down in the comments and ask us if there's something else that you want to know, like the worst thing that we had or the best thing that we had.
Yeah.
I think we kind of hit on that a little bit, or maybe you have a different
how
question.
You felt when you were doing this, if you've done this, or what if you're thinking about doing it, what your questions are.
So the ferry is going to be awaiting us.
Yep.
To take us back over to Italy, and that will be the beginning of our next video, going through getting the tickets and getting loaded up, and kind of how that was different from our other experience from going from Bari to Albania. Once we're back in Italy, our plan is to go across and go down into the toe of the boot.
Yep.
And then we're going to take another ferry over to Sicily.
Yes. You want to stay tuned for that.
Yes. And then we're going to come back into Italy, hopefully go past and visit Pompeii. We're still on the edge about going into Rome, and now we've got kind of a new twist into going into Rome, which is it may be Easter weekend.
Yeah, we don't know if we want to
So that may not be the best idea.
We were thinking Vatican City and Rome, but Easter.
Yeah. So stay tuned to what we actually do down Salsa. Where we actually go, that'll be in one of our next videos. So you got to subscribe or hit the alert button so you'll see them.
Yep.
And that'll be our next Empty Nest Adventures
TV.